Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm addressing the question that so many of my patients have, which is, do I need all these supplements that I'm taking? So if you watch through this video, I'm going to share with you the approach that I take to supplementation. I'm going to give you some tips to really help you to understand what supplements might be beneficial and ways to incorporate them into your daily regimen. Because in my experience as a physician, and I've been doing this for a while, I can tell you that most people don't have a real good protocol or a well-established way that they're using their supplementation. And many people, in my opinion, get on way too many supplements. And what this does is it costs you a lot of time, energy, and in the end, money. I want to start with a story. So several years ago, I sat with a patient in my office who presented with any number of different clinical complaints. I mean, it just seemed like everything was wrong. And in taking her history, I asked what supplementation she was using in addition to her conventional medications, and she produced a shopping bag that was about 1/3 filled with supplements. She had probably 15 or 20 different bottles, and a lot of these supplements had 10 to 15 different discrete ingredients in each bottle. These were all recommendations that she had gotten from different providers, different practitioners, friends, and in the end, she just wasn't feeling well. She wasn't feeling that they were giving her any benefit. So rather than initiate at that time an ongoing course of studies, I said, look, you're taking a lot of different supplements, and who knows how all these different active components are all interacting with one another. I recommended that she stop her supplementation and come back and see me in a month. And I can tell you that she came back 3 to 4 weeks later, and she felt vastly improved. So what are the steps that you can do to begin to really start to feel better? My name is Scott Resnick. I'm a medical doctor, and I'm making these videos because I want to give you the tools, tips, and the techniques to really take charge of your health. What's cool is that we are entering a new era in medicine where you, the consumer, the individual, can become well educated about what's driving your health and then can undertake the testing and treatments to really begin to get better. Now, this is offset with our conventional medical system, which is still mired in waiting for someone to get sick and then prescribing a drug. And it really saddens me that so many doctors, so many mainstream doctors still are reticent to look into the literature that's out there that's showing the power of supplements, of nutrients, of herbs, of working with our epigenetics and our microbiome. These are all components of our health, and I'm making these videos to bring these into light. So my first step in addressing what's important for supplementation is supplementation should be supplemental. In other words, our bodies are equipped to get all of the nutrients that we need out of our diet. And if we're not doing it in the here and now, we sure haven't learned in the last 2 million years. However, the problem is that with our contemporary diets filled with synthetic chemicals, processed foods, and made from nutritionally depleted soils, we are not getting the nutritional benefit that we need from our food. To this, we can also add in the number of medications that many of us are exposed to that actually deplete our body of essential nutrients. So the first category of nutrients and supplements that I want to go over with you are those that can be measured. I mean, there are any number of different different molecules that we have in our body that we're chronically deficient of. And I've made some videos to this effect that you can look at. So for example, half of us are deficient in magnesium. 1/3 of the world is estimated to be deficient in zinc. Additionally, I see significant deficiencies, and these are through measurements of patients, of molecules such as the omega-3 fatty acids, which are so important to combat inflammation and to make our cell membranes work well. I also see deficiencies in molecules such as CoQ10 and iron, particularly in women that have really heavy menstrual cycles. Each of these nutrients are ones that you can establish a measurement for a baseline, you can supplement for a period of time, and then you can remeasure. It's that simple. The next category of supplements that I like to look at are the ones being used for a subjective complaint. Now, if you can measure something and then measure it again, that's objective. That's a measurement. Subjective is really how you feel. How well are you sleeping? How is your anxiety? How is your depression? How is your thinking? There are a lot of different supplements that can actually benefit each of these different symptoms, but we don't have an objective way of measuring them. What I recommend is this. If you're taking a supplement to help with anxiety, sleep, headaches, these are all subjective findings. And I'm going to recommend that you just use one supplement at a time and use it for a period of weeks to see if you're having any benefit. Because what happens is if you start adding in supplements on top of supplements, not only will you not know if the supplements are helping, but you're also going to be opening yourself up to having confusing effects between the supplements, and maybe even something that has a negative effect on your biology. So the next category of supplementation that I see people using are ones that might be preventative. I mean, these are supplements such as lutein or zeaxanthin, which have been studied to help stave off eyesight loss and macular degeneration. Nutrients such as CoQ10 and alpha-lipoic acid have actually been shown to improve atherosclerosis. So if you are using a supplement like this, you're not going to have the benefit in a short period of time of knowing whether there's going to be a benefit. And this is when the purveyor of your supplement really becomes important. In the description below this video, I've included the 2 supplement companies that I use almost exclusively for my patients. I use these because they are both good manufacturing practices, because they meticulously source their raw materials, and their production and distribution are spot on. So these 2 companies are Metagenics and Thorne. And I can tell you that I recently toured the Metagenics factory, and I was so impressed by the cleanliness and the quality of the supplements. They also take their supplements and have a third party do analyses of what's in the supplements, so you know you're getting what you actually think you're taking. So in review, when we're taking supplementation, I mean, as a doctor, if I had my patients on more than 5 or 6 supplements, I really felt that I was doing something wrong, because primarily you want to get your nutrition from your food. I mean, the human body is built to run on good food. So my recommendation to that effect is to eat wholesome food, non-processed food, and preferably organic foods. That's what our body is made to run on. If you are able to make some measurements of some of these supplements that are followed objectively with measurements, first obtain the measurements, and I'm doing any number of different videos to teach you how to do that. Get your supplements from a good supplement company, and then measure again to make sure that you've arrived at the desired effect. My anticipation is that your symptoms are going to improve as you see your numbers improve. And finally, if you're using supplementation to help to stave off an event sometime in the future, like the lutein or zeaxanthin, like resveratrol for life or for long living, get your supplements from a good supplementation company. Once again, I'm Scott Resnick. I'm making these videos for your benefit. If you like these videos, be sure to subscribe, comment. I'll respond to all of the comments personally. If you want to be notified of when these videos come out on a weekly basis, click the bell. And I hope that this was beneficial. I know your time is valuable. And and finally, I want to also put in a plug for my personal website, which is scottresnickmd. On this website, I have an ebook that I have published, which is fully free, that looks at the most common diagnosis that I saw in my medical practice, which was fatigue. So if you want to download a real accessible, visually appealing, and practical book that's going to help you to look at your fatigue from a different perspective, go to scottresnickmd.com, follow the prompts, you know what to do. Either way, thanks for your time, and I will see you in an upcoming video.